Yes. So this one is called Fresh Snap Beans, and this was just a few months before my dear passed, and her funeral was the day before Thanksgiving in 2012. Okay, this Fresh Snap Beans. My brother Glenn has tended the family garden since Pops became unable to work the garden a few years prior to his passing 2 years ago. Glenn picked some fresh snap beans from the garden yesterday. Being proud of the crop's bountiful yield, he called me to see if I would cook them. No way could I turn him down. So I came over late this mid-August morning to begin cooking. I diced up an onion and cut up chicken and applewood sausage, then put them in the pot with water on the stove. I cut up a few small red potatoes and put them in the boiling pot. After cleaning and snapping the green beans, I put them in the pot with the other ingredients, added seasonings, and covered the pot. I cut into quarters a huge sweet potato and put in the pan with olive oil lining, covered with foil and put in the oven. Saved time on baked chicken by purchasing it from the store deli. Then I started cornbread using buttermilk and honey for taste and put it in the oven. Can't have green snap beans without cornbread. Put rice on the burner. Now we can talk about a good down-home meal for real as soon as everything is ready. With a sense of humility, I appreciate that everyone in the family enjoys my cooking. Coming from a family with some pretty good cooks, I try to make my cooking appear and taste as close as possible to the manner in which my dear would prepare it.
That's very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I was going to ask you, today you brought another book with you, the Meditations and Devotions. So that one was your first book, and your second one is Meditations and Devotions for All Seasons. And the first thing I did, of course, was to roll the pages down this way, and I saw these beautiful, colorful pictures. And so, who took those pictures?
I took every picture, including the front cover. Actually, I was just using my iPad,
Your iPad too.
I'm not the best photographer, but I just have a feel for the moment and just to snap the picture at a moment. Sometimes I would take pictures and write a poem about the picture that I'd taken also.
It's beautiful. I love it. And it has a different touch from the other book.
I call this photo poetry.
Photo poetry,
in
yes.
a sense.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So what is the heartbeat of this book?
To just take time out to be able to just sit and ponder in life. I think sometimes in this hurry up society that we live in, we don't take time to enjoy the meaning of a moment. Sometimes we need to just sit back and truly be able to relax and just be appreciative of the moment. So maybe just from my being sick, it gave me a heightened awareness of that need to be able to meditate and to contemplate life, and also just to be grateful for the little things, watching the little bees buzz around and watching the birds flying in formation and wonder, how do they do that, being in perfect flight formation? And it just calms the spirit, and it just gives you an inner peace. And I think what's so important in life these days is to have that deep inner peace, and that makes life a lot easier to live. And it also gets rid of a lot of worry when you can have this deep peace within. And also some things are so big that we can't handle, I just tend to just give it to God.
Good for you. This is awesome. I wish if the whole world thought like you, you'd be a wonderful, peaceful world, that's for sure. I wanted to also mention your cards. They're so beautiful. You brought them in. This is something new that you came up with, correct?
Yeah.
There's a uniqueness about it. Of course, the pictures in it are pictures that you also took?
Yes. It's a set of 4 cards. And the genesis of this was people like my poetry, but they would say, you ought to make some cards, Arthur, or you ought to make a calendar. So I did start with the cards. And I took all the pictures, and actually the set of 4 here, the poems, 3 of the poems are in my new book, Meditations and Devotions, and there's one presence that is in The Rainbow at Midnight. For example, this one, The Moments, it also comes with a little tear off here.
Isn't that beautiful? It has a bookmarker at the end of the card with a poem on the side. Go ahead. I'm just excited about it. Just beautiful.
Yes.
Beautifully
and then
done.
there's also the picture in the front of the card. And this is The Moments. One of my favorite poems, actually.
Okay, let's hear that.
Okay. The moments gifted in the span of time, so embedded in our hearts and design to measure the very intimate cares in our lives we constantly struggle to define and refine. Holding close the memories of the moments that have so inspired our hearts with love, trying hard not to revisit the times of hurt and pain. Still in life are the moments, good and bad, sunshine and rain. The moments grow increasingly precious as we watch the seasons pass us by. Old resentments are now rendered valueless. Seizing the moment to love, we no longer ask why. At times in our lives, adversity shall surely call, being mindful that in each moment, God is still in control. Even during those moments when teardrops start to fall, God's compassion and grace restores peace to the soul.
Wow. There's a poem here on The Rainbow at Midnight, and the title is Presence on page 114. Would you read that for us?
Yeah. This poem is also one of the cards. It's on one of the presents. When I'm facing this moment's pressing cares, Jesus tenderly knows just how much my heart can bear. Relishing in the beauty of a fragrant flower in its fulfilled bloom, your presence is infinitely sweeter than rarest of perfumes. God, I need your presence. In faith I am sustained. Your love and grace I pray in my heart shall reign. The Holy Spirit is my compass. Let my heart not go astray. Guide me in thy righteous paths. I pray in love this day.
You know, you could read for me all day long.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. So much sentiment, so much heart into what you've written and what you say. It is wonderful. I appreciate you as a poet and an author. And as a human being, I highly recommend these cards any time of the year as a birthday gift, something that you want to tell someone you love. Because you could use the bookmark, but you could also use the card, right? And you could have it right next to your bed. And maybe read it before you go to sleep.
And the thing about it is some people, when they have bought this set of cards, they say, I don't want to give them away. I want to keep them as a keepsake. But I've sent them as as far as Louisiana and all over. You know, and
where can people find them? Where can people find your
actually
books and cards?
through word of mouth. For the books, the publisher is Zulon, Xulon, ZulonPublishers.com. You can also get the books on like Amazon, also for if you want to get it electronically. And actually, what I do is sell a lot of the books actually from my home, and I mail them out, ship them out to you.
So how could someone get hold of you at home? Or do you want the whole world to know where you live?
You can actually email me.
Okay, what is your email?
At harrart52@me.com.
Any plans for future publications?
Yes, I think my next book is going to be entitled Pocket Sermons from a Deacon. We're always told as deacons in our church to always be ready to give a sermon. And actually, a couple of our deacons have had to give sermons because if the pastor's not there, then we have to be ready to give a sermon.
So you are a deacon?
So, yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I've been one for 13 years.
What is a deacon? Sorry.
Well, we're actually under congregational care, and we care for the congregation and look out for the needs of the members of the congregation and support the pastor as needed. One of the ministries that I'm involved in is the intercessory prayer ministry. So if we have a 24-hour prayer line. So on the day that I have the prayer line, someone will call and they might need prayer for their daughter or for themselves, and whatever the situation, I need to have a prayer ready to address that particular need at that particular time.
Yeah.
We just try to do what God has entrusted us to do, and that's to care for those in need, and especially in the spiritual realm. But if there's some other needs, we also want to make sure they get resources also. So if someone is in a crisis or food or something, perhaps we can help them with that with like the charity ministry. But it could be some deeper needs that they may need, like counseling or something, that we want to get them professional help if needed.
So what would be the number they would call to get hold of you for that?
They would call the church phone for that number there.
Okay, and what's the name of the church?
New Beginnings Christian Fellowship.
Okay,
and that's in Kent, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those that will see the program there,
Yeah.
may want to reach out
Yeah.
for you. And do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with our audience and our viewers out there?
I believe that life is a miracle. It's miraculous for us to be here. I mean, if you just think about it, if the earth was a few miles south or a few miles north, we wouldn't have life. And just the perfection of this creation, Earth is like 93 million miles away from the sun, and how did we end up in this perfect spot that would spur the conditions that we could have life as we know it? It's just a miracle. It's just a miracle to be here. And I think that it's a precious gift. I believe that it's a blessing, and that we also should be a blessing to others. We should be other-centered and not self-centered. And we're here to bless others. We're blessed to be a blessing to others. And life is short, but if you just take time to sit and ponder, and you will find a deeper meaning. So
true. You are so wise, and you're very young too, right? I'm 69.
I'm 61.
61. Oh my gosh, you are so young.
Yeah. So we increase in wisdom as we grow
increase
older.
in wisdom.
That's the beauty about growing older.
My gosh, what you're going to be like another 8 years from now when you get to be as old as me.
Well,
incredible.
I just hope to be able to continually grow in grace and humility.
You are. It is a pleasure to have you here. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And until the next Authors Forum, have a most inspiring week.